Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, here we are head to head, the FFB. What's up with my guys? Nino, Russ, what's up? How y'all doing?
Doing great, man. It's another great fantasy week for IDP, and some guys showed up finally, and some guys that you drafted high didn't show up, and we'll find out who that is.
Yeah,
So,
there
how
was a
about you?
couple of turd burglars in there, of the big dogs, the squatty potties. But it was a good week of football. You know what I mean? I said to KT the other day, the NFL is weird this year, real weird all around. Like defensively, offensively, the teams that are in it and not in it. You think they're not in it, they're still kind of in it. Like it's just strange. But we're only 4 games. We're gonna be 4 games into it, so we'll see what happens. But let's break it down. I'm ready.
Yeah, let's get right to it. Hot to trot. Let's get right to Nino's group. We used Milkbox last week, so what we got, guy?
All right, I'm gonna go. I got two guys. So what I tried to do here with the offensive guys who aren't owned, 25% rostered or less, that had good games, and then I went on the flip side for the squatty guys that are really owned that drop turds. So I've been on it for a while in the league. I'm with Jared. I got him for a pancake, and a used highlighter. That's Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Baltimore. 9 tackles, 7 solo, 3 sacks, pass breakup, 2 tackles for loss, forced fumble. He's out there for 100% snaps, 84 of them. He had 6 run stops, 5 total pressures, right? An 80.4 PFF grade, 57 in the slot, 13 on the line, 8 in the box. Dude was all over the place. We knew he was going to play that type of role. 34.5 fantasy points. My dude's rostered in only 23% of these leagues. If you can get him, I go get him. Guy out of Seattle on that line, Jaron Reed, 8 tackles, 1.5 sacks, tackle for loss, and a pass breakup. He also added in 5 run stops. This dude got a 90.4 PFF grade and only played in 53% of the snaps. That was 42 snaps total, right? He's rostered in 1.9% of leagues, and he had 19 fantasy points. We've been searching for 3 weeks for a linebacker. New York Football Giants. We thought it was going to be Isaiah Simmons. Apparently, that's not the answer.
But I thought it was going to be Bobby O'Creaky.
He had 1 week, so he's kind of floating around. But this week, it was Eminem, not the candy. Micah McFadden, 10 tackles, 7 solo, 4 tackles for loss. He had 5 run stops. He only had 1 total pressure. So that's going to be something to monitor down the stretch. Because if he doesn't have those tackles for loss, the fantasy points would drop drastically. He did play 72% of the snaps. That was 60 total on the game. He's rostered at 1.4% of leagues. He had 24.3 fantasy points. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts here?
First of all, I'm here for Micah McFadden. I can't believe either one of you didn't pick him up, especially the guy who's been preaching Bobby O'Creaky from the get-go. But I still was able to go get him on the waiver wire in our league with both of you, and I appreciate that. So thank you for not grabbing him.
You're welcome. In that league, by the way, I was battling Russ and Veda for top point scorers of the week. I ended up coming in third in the end, but I did win my game. So what are your thoughts on Reed out of Seattle?
Listen, I love Jaron Reed. And the thing is, I think we really expected Wosu to really step up this year, and he's been an absolute ghost. I mean, this dude was left on red apparently because can't find him anywhere. Jaron Reed is one of those guys we really expected when he first came out, and now he's kind of balling, and I'm here for it. So I like it. I mean, talk about making the most of your time. He definitely did that.
100%. All right.
Yeah.
Milkbox, you going or you going, Jack? Who's going?
It don't matter to me.
Go ahead, Milkbox. I mean, I got my guy, which is funny. I got a guy who went squatty potty, he's doing this right
now. Week to week, baby.
Yeah, we'll fire off with Myles Garrett. He finally had a game at 77% snap count with 4 solos and 1 assist. He got you 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 3 tackle for loss, and that was about 41 fantasy points. He was just in the backfield constantly.
53 in our league, thanks.
Yeah. So, and then
against me, if anybody wants to know.
Yeah, and then we got Buffalo Bill, Terrell Bernard. I know I've been high on the Matt Milano kick. I'm sure I'll talk about him a little bit later. But at 87% snap count, he put up 5 solos, 2 assists. He got him a couple sacks, an interception, a couple PBUs, a fumble recovery, and a little interception for another 40 burger for fantasy points. And then a guy that I didn't really talk much about, I was trying to keep low key for whatever reason, just to see what would happen. And Kazir White, Cardinals linebacker, 100% snap count, 8 solos, 14 total tackles. Got him a pick and a PBU, tackle for loss, and 34 fantasy points. So he runs out.
Listen, we talked about Kaiser White weeks and weeks ago because, listen, their head coach brought him in from Philadelphia. And I said, listen, if there's one linebacker that I'm going to grab, and it was like, oh, Isaiah Simmons is going to ball this and that. He's going to play dual. I'm like, bro, that dude's out the door one way or another. He ain't their guy. You bring your guys in, okay? When he brought his guy in, and he's been balling literally since he got there, which, I mean, he's been a grab, to be honest. Terrell Bernard, you actually called Terrell Bernard last season. Like, listen, this guy was
early on some, because I liked Michael McFadden last season too, but he wasn't getting the snaps that he needed to put up the production. But yeah, that linebacking course been a little bit frustrating for me.
I thought it was a glaring red sign when week 1 they named Terrell Bernard the starting linebacker, and I'm like, whoa, okay, Last year out of Baylor, I mean, it was his first year. We saw what he could do with Baylor, but then he seems to have had a good, preseason, and he's doing his thing week to week. He's been kind of going up a little bit each same amount of snaps as your boy.
Yeah.
We'll get there, I think, a little later, but hey, he could be the guy to have in that linebacker room.
Yeah.
All right, boom. Hit us with it.
All right, so here's the deal, right? I'm going to stay on the Dax Hill train, and I've been on this train, okay? I think Dax Hill has been one of the best grabs in football. Me and Nino were on the train. We're literally weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Listen, there's one guy that I want to grab. Jesse Bates is gone, who's also on my list, again, because he went hot to trot, squatty potty, back to hot to trot. But we'll get to him in a second. With Jesse Bates and Von, Bell leaving, somebody had to fill that role. And let's be real. Dax Hill went stupid. 8 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, quarterback hit, and a sack from the safety position. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, as always. Really think he's just a dude, okay? The reason I love him, you got him forever if you're in Dynasty. I mean, he's in his 2nd season. So
yeah,
you're here for it. Jesse Bates, again, squatty pie last week. Then he plays, a team that is going to throw the ball plenty in Detroit. We saw 11 total tackles, a pass deflection, and an interception. Jesse, where'd you go last week? Because I'm here for it. I mean, it's just I don't know what keeps happening to you, but we're here for it. Last but not least, K9, 2 weeks in a row, my guy let me down week 1. Okay, you're on a squatty potty. All right, let's be real here. And then K9 not only come up for you big, he came up for the team very big. Last play of the game, gets an interception, which was massive for them. 9 total tackles, a tackle for loss, a pass deflection, and interception to clinch it in the end zone. Huge week for him, 2 weeks in a row. I will tell you this. I think he, and listen, that's my guy. 100%, it's my guy. But is he a sell high candidate?
Ooh.
Because Eric Kendricks is coming back one way or another. So, but the thing is they're finally letting my guy go downhill. And that's why you're seeing the sacks. That's why you're seeing the tackles for loss. That's why you're seeing, the only time you're dropping him in the end zone, in the red zone. So
when it should be dropped, not
when it should be dropped. Yeah, you either bring it down here or you drop in, because you need it and you got the safety behind you, basically.
Right.
So I'm here for it. Obviously, K9 is actually crushing the last 2 weeks, and hey, no better year to have than a contract year. So
yeah, hey, listen, you mentioned Von Bell, right? And this is going to be a little bit off topic here, but there was a huge injury today. Xavier Woods is going to be out for a while, right? Is it time for Jamie Robinson to eat? Is it time?
Hope so.
And where's Jeremy Chin been, bro?
God,
asleep.
Yeah,
he's in hibernation apparently. Yeah. I don't know. It's been,
and that's a guy you probably drafted high too.
100%. You drafted him.
I mean, God, that sucks.
He could be a perennial squatty potty all year, and
Well, you had a good week last week overall.
I guess not Jeremy Chin type good, but
not rookie year Jeremy Chin type good.
All right, let's hit the potty.
Straight to the potty, my man Russ. Let's hear you.
Okay. Well, before we start off with what I think we know we're going to go which direction, I'll start with Dre Greenlaw, 49ers linebacker, 84% snap count, 4 solos, 1 assist, only got you 9 points. A guy that you're drafting real high, you need double digits in the teens type of thing from his draft capital. Matt Milano, there it is, 87% snap count, 1 solo, 4 assists, 6 fantasy points.
Hey, is he on Star Wars? Juan Solo? Is that him?
Juan Solo.
Yeah, it was not a good night for him. And another counterpart, man, Jordan Poyer, a guy that I've always been high on. He's been pretty consistent, top 5 DB, 87% snap count, got you only 4 solos, 8 fantasy points. So you had some Bills that were really good, and you had some Bills that were really bad because AJ Epinesa, he had him a pretty good game. So
yeah, he did.
I kind of picked on my own team a little bit, but gave him a little bit of love at the same time. So
AJ had basically 2 big plays.
Who?
Right.
AJ.
Yeah.
Had one sack and then the interception for a touchdown, but
those are 2 big
plays.
plays.
You know what I mean? Massive plays. So
right.
Yeah,
your
score is
really low. Right.
Big play, AJ. All right, let me give you my squatty, and we'll round it out. Boom. You mentioned Dre Greenlaw. I'm going to mention his counterpart because he finally made it, on the fire squad last week. I'm going to go with Fred Warner. 4 tackles, 2 solo, no pressures. He played 100% snaps. That was 50 of them. He only had 1 run stop. He allowed 3 of 3 receptions in coverage. He had a missed tackle rate of 20. He's rostered in 69% of your leagues, and he only got you 4.5 fantasy points. My friend, that belongs in the toilet bowl, not even on the toilet bowl. A guy that me and Boomer and Milkbox have been a big supporter of, and he's kind of not lived up to the hype this year as much as he did last year. Christian Wilkins, Miami, defensive lineman. Miami had their will and their way with, the Denver Broncos here outside of Marvin Mims on a couple plays. He had 3 tackles. They were all assisted. He had 2 run stops. Only had 3 total pressures. Did have a pass breakup. He was on the field for 53% of snaps. That's a little something I want to look at. 33 total snaps on the day. He's rostered almost 40% of leagues. Only got you 3.8 fantasy points. I know we don't really mention cornerbacks too much, okay? But this gentleman has been having a year, and he had a good stretch down the stretch last year. L'Jarius Sneed, Kansas City, he had 1 tackle, a solo tackle, and a tackle for loss. No pressures, 1 run stop. He played 82% snaps. That was 42 snaps on the day. He's rostered in close to 60% of leagues. So he's known for putting up points. He got you 4. These guys dropped turd burglars for everybody in their leagues. And I think these guys are starting for most people's teams. So they got to get off the potty. It's what they say. Shit or get off the pot. Well, you shit. So now you got to get off the pot.
All right. So I'm going to give you guys who we all really thought were going to ball out, right? And who have honestly played very well.
Yeah.
Let's start with Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
Dude's had a sack or 2 sacks every game, right? My man rolled right into 1 total hit and 1 quarterback hit. So 1 tackle, 1 quarterback hit.
Sleeping.
Bruh, thanks, because I'm pretty sure I started you, and I appreciate that. Not really. It was terrible, right? I just can't hear for it. Let's give another guy that a lot of people were very high on, especially Milkbox, Grant Delpit, right?
Yeah.
Listen, my dude was pounding the table.
Yeah.
Bro, 2 total tackles from my man Grant Delpit. Listen, this LSU line, safety thing just not what we expected.
Always
we expected it, especially as much as they were on the field. Like, come on, him and Juan Thornhill, both 2 total tackles. I mean, I can't be here for you, dude. I was pounding the table for Juan Thornhill, right? And he ain't part of my list.
Delpit is like Delpit in like a fantasy meme is like when you go and watch Dumb and Dumber and you got the bird, Polly, right? Polly's got tape. That's like your hopes in Grant Delphi is that little parrot. You're petting the bird. That bird ain't coming back to life, buddy. You know what I mean?
Kitty.
Hey, and one more guy, it's who had a monster week the other day, DeForest Buckner, who you guaranteed you drafted high probably, and he, this guy's been very, very solid. Hey, thanks for your one total tackle. I appreciate you this week. Squatty potty for life.
Thank you. Come again.
We're talking about big names and just absolutely squatting it this week and terrible, terrible, terrible. But hey, it's been a great week. It's been a great week of football. College football's been absolutely banging, by the way. It's been so much fun to watch. Unless you're a Nebraska Cornhusker fan.
Hey, baby, don't count us out. Upset coming.
You're going to be upset. Yes, that's
Oh,
the answer. You're going to be
I don't know if
upset.
we're going to be upset. It'll be an ass whooping or we'll win by a field goal.
I wasn't upset. I definitely wasn't upset at all.
Hey, just like that Oregon laying that ass whooping on Colorado, huh?
Yeah, you
seen that little 5-minute video of them? Don't talk to him. Don't even give him the acknowledgement of satisfaction of talking shit.
Hey, look at Shiloh talked a lot of shit, and I didn't realize that he left that game peeing blood and had like a messed up like kidney or something. Like he was talking to coaches, he was talking to players. Like, man, Daddy didn't do that stuff. Daddy talked, but he talked to the guy he was guarding. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this is just a preview of what's to come. Obviously, we got a lot of stuff coming to FFB, and my guy Nino and Russ are going to be here every week killing it. We got some shirts coming out, got some patches for you. You guys are not going to be disappointed about what's coming on here. Look at my guy rocking this shirt. It's so sexy, dude. Head to head. Let's go.
It's nice.
Well, if you don't know, this is the new nation. It's FFB Nation. It's everything you need to know for your fantasy football content. We're going to have Fantasy Vibes and 5 bi-week bangers Russ will be putting out, and it'll be coming up very shortly. We're going to have head-to-head every week. And we got, I think my guy Moon coming in with his own special little flavor to it. So be prepared. We're coming for that number one spot in that fantasy football community. And hit that bell, hit that subscribe, and check us out. But until next week, boom.
Let's go.